Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to take a moment to turn off your cell phones as we begin the ceremony? Please welcome the FDNY Ceremonial Unit Color Guard. Please remain standing for our national anthem to be sung by firefighter Regina Wilson.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Firefighter Wilson. Please remain standing while I invite FDNY Chaplain Monsignor Mark Falaccione to the podium to deliver the invocation.
Lord, you bring us together again for this time-honored and noble tradition. This morning we will carry out what those who have gone before us in this department have done for many years. We will stand with pride as we welcome our new Chief of Department, John J. Hodgens, Chief of Operations, John Esposito, Chief of Special Operations, Malcolm Moore, and Chief of Fire Academy, Charles Downey. Throughout the years, many have found leadership hard to define. So we offer our morning prayer that these four who stand before us always define and represent it with justice. Help them to remember that it is about listening and about connecting. May they remember it is not about telling people what they must do, but rather it's about finding out what people need, and less about the love of power and prestige, and more about the power of love. Lord, as they undertake their new department responsibilities and obligations to the city's faithful citizens, let their greatest passion be compassion, strength, love, and the most outstanding victory, the reward of peace. May this be our prayer as a department, as family members, as friends, always in your name, amen.
Thank you, Monsignor. Please retire the colors. Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Battalion Chief Michelle Fitzsimmons, and it is my honor to be the Master of Ceremonies for today's swearing-in ceremony of our new Chief of Department, Chief of Operations, Chief of Special Operations, and Chief of the Fire Academy. I would like to introduce the dais. Acting Fire Commissioner, Laura Kavanaugh. Acting Chief of Department, John Hodgens. Chief of Staff, Elizabeth Cassio. Chief of Special Operations, John Esposito. Assistant Chief of EMS, Cesar Escobar. Deputy Chief of Rescue Operations, Malcolm Moore. Acting Chief of Fire Academy, Charles Downey. And FDNY Chaplain, Monsignor Mark Falaciano. A special welcome to the Hodgens, Esposito, Moore, and Downey's families and guests. And what a great turnout we have today, right? Of the uniform members of our union, and the FDNY executive staff. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the Acting Fire Commissioner, Laura Kavanaugh.
Good morning. And I think it is a very good morning. I feel a wonderful, happy vibe in this room, and that's a great thing to see. We don't always get that in the fire department, so I'm very happy to be here. I am going to keep this short, not only because it's a very hot day, and as I was reminded when I went to speak to the Chief's Command course upstairs right before the ceremony, they reminded me that traffic is building. So I promise to keep it short, but that won't be a measure of how I feel about the men on this stage who are being promoted today. I think in reality, their careers really speak for themselves, and I would also say that for all of us, we have not only worked together for the last few years, but certainly over the last few months have had to work closely together through tragedy. So they have proved why they are on this stage here today, by their actions and not only by their words. So that being said, John, unfortunately, like so many things in the fire department, our relationship was forged through tragedy. 5 minutes into my acting role in this job, we had a line of duty death, Jesse Gerhard, which would unfortunately be followed by yet another in Timothy Klein. And I have never been so grateful to have such a steady hand by my side, somebody who was cool, calm, and collected, who knew what had to be done, who was both strong and empathetic. And to find all of that out in our first few moments on the job is something I'm forever grateful for, so thank you. It certainly showed me the kind of leader that you are and that you'll continue to be. And then I do remember a few weeks after those sad incidents, I was talking to you a little bit about who we were, how we came to be in these jobs, what our leadership philosophy was. And one of the things he said to me that was, in his family, the way you treated people was everything. That his parents, who are both here, had taught him to be kind, to be empathetic, that even when you had to make a tough decision, to do it kindly. And I knew in that moment that Jack would be my chief of department, and so I'm exceptionally happy to be making that official today. We can clap for that. John, you and I have worked together for a number of years now. You could call this the longest job interview in the history of the FDNY, although I might be nipping at your heels on that one. But certainly I have seen at that time that you are one of the most forward-looking leaders I've ever worked with, especially in the New York City Fire Department. No matter what was going on, you would come to me and say, here's what's next. Here's what I want SOC to be in 5 years, in 10 years. Whether it was good or bad, you tell us we have to prepare for the worst and plan for the best. And that was so exceptionally appreciated, and you were so able to work with everyone on the staff in order to achieve your goals. Again, when this opportunity arose, I knew that you were the perfect fit, so congratulations. Malcolm, who I know doesn't like being in the spotlight, so I'll try to keep this short. But one thing I learned about Malcolm recently, which explained a lot of what I know about his leadership qualities, is he was drawn to the fire department out of tragedy. Losing family members to a fire early in his life had driven him to this job. And that explains Malcolm's heart, which I think we all know is large. It's why we can't keep him out of going to a fire. I think we were all worried that he was going to go to the 5th alarm this morning, which he did not. But it was close. It was close. But it's that kind of heart and motivation that leads you to be a great leader, a leader that does great things, a leader that can lead others and can break barriers along the way. And Malcolm is certainly that leader. So congratulations, Malcolm. And I think I can say that he and Chuck Downey share that same trait, that out of tragedy they have made great things for the fire department, that it has motivated them to do better and to do more. I know just a few feet from here a few weeks ago, we were all at the dedication of the facility in the back, which was the completion of the work of Chuck's father from many years ago. Which tells you a lot about the Downey name, which is they are a family that who's forever given everything they have, including in some cases their lives, to serve this department. And that has inspired each generation of the Downeys to do more and to give back even more, which is the greatest testament of all to their father. And I think the Downey name is a pretty tough one to live up to, but I think, Chuck, you've more than exceeded that, so congratulations. I think that theme for me is what ties these promotions together. Each of these men is focused on something greater than themselves, greater than their career, even greater than the moment that's in front of them. They are all exceptional incident commanders. They're all exceptional firefighters, and I don't have any worry about that, but we have a lot of really great firefighters in the FDNY. What these 4 men have is an ability to look towards the future and say, what can I do to make the fire department better? What will it look like when I leave? What will it look like in 100 years when none of us are here anymore? And I think while they all came to the fire department from a very different place, 2 of them first generation and 2 of them second generation, and it sounds like multiple generations to come, they still share the understanding that whether it is 1 generation or 3, they are merely a moment of time in the fire department history, and the thing that they can best do is leave a legacy that makes it better for every member in the future, that makes it safer for the citizens of New York, and makes the job safer for the men and women that they send into danger every day. And I think that's really what ties them together, and that is really what struck me about each one of them as I was talking to them. I knew that they were right for the job when I knew that they could look towards the future and say, what do we need to do and how do we get it done together, which is the only way we get anything done in the fire department is as a team. So I will end by saying we have a lot of great leaders on this stage. I'm exceptionally confident that these 4 are the best, that they will make great decisions, that they will make us better, and that we will be a great team. And they'll see what's on the horizon, and they will prepare us to meet it. So congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Kavanaugh. We will now administer the promotion to the rank of Chief of Department. Will Acting Chief of Department John Hodgens please step forward and repeat the oath of office with Acting Commissioner. Holding the Bible for Chief Hodgens is his father, retired Assistant Chief John Hodgens.
We're missing a Bible. Sorry, I was holding on to it. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, John Hodgens,
I, John Hodgens,
having been appointed to the rank of Chief of Department
having been appointed to the rank of Chief of Department
in the Fire Department of the City of New York,
in the Fire Department of the City of New York,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of such rank
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of such rank
according to the laws, regulations, and orders
according to the laws, regulations, and orders
governing the department,
governing the department,
and will obey the orders and directions of my superiors
and will obey the orders and directions of my superiors
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Please welcome to the podium Chief of Department John Hodgens.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't promise to keep this short. Good morning to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I would like to acknowledge and thank Commissioner Kavanaugh, my FDNY colleagues, my family, and friends for attending today's ceremony. Commissioner Kavanaugh, thank you for giving me this opportunity to serve the department as the 38th Chief of Department. For me, this is an unbelievable honor and privilege for which I am very grateful. Congratulations as well to my fellow promotees and their families. You have all proven yourselves to be worthy of this promotion. And I know you will do great things for the department moving forward. The FDNY has given me a very rewarding 36-year career. I think back to my first tour at 11 Truck when I began my career. I'm so grateful and amazed at where this journey has taken me. I know there was a lot of hard work involved. Countless hours of studying fire department books, taking promotional exams, waiting to be promoted, being assigned to cover in different divisions, putting in for spots, sometimes getting them, sometimes not. Well, once I didn't get it. Probably the biggest reason I am standing here today is that I had the absolute pleasure to work with great leaders that were also great people in the department. I was very lucky to also have a role model in life and in the FDNY living in the house with me. My dad, John Hodgens Sr., was a member of the department for 33 years, who rose to the rank of Chief of Fire Prevention. I remember watching him go to headquarters
every day and thinking, that's not for me. I'm going to stick with my 24s. But priorities change, and at some point you realize that the job you love that has given you and your family so much is worth giving back to. And so here I am. A little bit about my career. I started out, as I said, in Engine 28, Ladder 11 in 1986 on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and I loved going to work there. It was a squared-away firehouse with great firefighters and officers that led by example and broke me in the right way. The officers and firefighters that worked in 28 and 11 took me under their wing and taught me how to become a firefighter. I will never forget the time I spent there and the great people I had the privilege to work with. I believe my career was shaped by learning about the job from these members. And some of them are here today. Moving on to lieutenant, after covering in the 15th Division for a while, I was assigned to Ladder 157 in Flatbush, Brooklyn. At the time, 157 was the busiest ladder company in the city, and I enjoyed every minute of working there. Yes, I am a buff at heart. 255, 157 was a great place to work. If you work there or in the area, you know what I mean. There was an energy there, a dedication to the job that was very inspiring to be the best. My FDNY education continued here as I worked with some outstanding officers and firefighters in the Jolly Rogers. I was promoted to captain in 2003 and assigned to Division 8 and eventually Ladder 87. Although Ladder 87 was not a so-called busy company, the officers and firefighters there were mostly senior firefighters, very dedicated to the job and good at what they did. The place had a great enthusiasm, and I always told them, I would take you anywhere on this job, and we'll get the job done. In 2006, I was promoted to battalion chief and sent to Division 15, where I'd eventually get a spot in Battalion 38. It was here that I worked with and got to know my predecessor, Tom Richardson. This was a great place to work, with plenty of fires and activity. We were surrounded by the busiest companies in the job, and most of the time this made our job easier. Battalion 38 was where I learned to be a chief officer. 6 years later, I was promoted to deputy chief, where I landed in Division 8, eventually being designated division commander. This was a rewarding position that gave me the opportunity to have a direct influence on the day-to-day operations of a division. I learned a lot there, and it was very rewarding. Then on to my staff career. In 2017, John Sudnick, the chief of operations at the time, gave me a call and asked me to come to staff. I accepted the position, and I was soon working with John in fire operations. John was a great leader and mentor. Whatever was going on in the department, John always remained calm and had a measured approach when solving problems, and I learned a lot. A few more promotions, and now I am honored to be standing here as the 38th Chief of Department. Incidentally, I am the 3rd Chief of Department from Battalion 38, which is ironic that I am the 38th from 38, and the 3rd, yeah. So as you have heard, as I rose through the ranks, I worked in some great places. But the places are not what made my career great. 100% it was the people and the interactions I had with them. I thought about mentioning names of influential people I worked with, but honestly, in this department, there are too many, and I would inevitably leave someone out that deserves to be mentioned. So I didn't want to go there. As chief of department, I committed to always remembering what it is like to be out there in the field. That is where the job is. the firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, officers, chief officers, fire inspectors that are out there doing the job, responding to fires and medical emergencies, and just about any other threat to the public are the backbone of the department. In recent times, while working as the Chief of Operations, I have responded to numerous multiple alarm fires and large-scale emergencies. And while at these operations and seeing the incredible work performed, I always felt proud to be a member of this department. When FDNY is called, we respond quickly and provide whatever it is necessary to make the scene safe and provide excellent medical care to the public we serve. I am committed to leading this department through the many challenges I am sure will come, and I know I will not have to do this alone. The last couple of years is proof that we are a strong, resilient group. I am truly blessed to work with all of my fellow staff chiefs, deputy commissioners, and bureau heads in this great department. You are a very dedicated and talented group, and I know together we can accomplish great things. I have very strong feelings about making sure that I always support you and the field and provide what is needed to operate safely and effectively. Through the years, there is one common theme I have observed about the FDNY, and we're all a part of it. We are never satisfied with the status quo. We are always looking for a better, safer, faster, more efficient way of doing our job. I am very proud of this fact. I pledge that in my time as Chief of Department, I will always strive for constant improvement. Whether it's new equipment, better procedures, advancements in technology, training initiatives, and more, we will always find the best way to succeed in our life-saving mission. That's enough about that. And now I have to thank the most important people in the room, my wife and children. They have supported me throughout this entire process, never complaining about the long days and nights away from home, and there are quite a few. When it seems like the world may be coming to an end, it is very comforting to know that I'll always get hugs when I walk through the door at home. I cannot express how grateful I am for the never-ending love and support you have given me, ultimately leading to my success in this department. I would also like to take a moment to thank the people that are with me every day, making my life easier at headquarters. My executive officer, Kevin Murphy, executive assistant, Kerry Muley, and my dedicated driver, George Rodriguez. Thank you for being there with me every day. In closing, I don't have anything fancy to say, just the words that you hear at the close of many FDNY ceremonies. And I take it to heart, and it really means something to me. God bless the FDNY, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Hodgens, and once again, congratulations. We will now administer the promotion to the rank of Chief of Operations. Will Chief John Esposito please step forward to raise your right hand and repeat the oath with the Acting Fire Commissioner. That's the other side. Holding the Bible for Chief Esposito is his wife, Nancy Esposito.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, John Esposito,
I, John Esposito,
having been appointed to the rank of Chief of Fire Operations
having been appointed to the rank of Chief of Fire Operations
in the Fire Department of the City of New York,
in the Fire Department of the City of New York,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of such rank
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of such rank
according to the laws, regulations, and orders
according to the laws, regulations, and orders
governing the department,
governing the department,
and will obey the orders and directions of my superiors
and will obey the orders and directions of my superiors
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Just want to get my ball.
Congratulations, Chief. Please welcome to the podium Chief of Operations, John Esposito.
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning. Thank you, Michelle. So earlier this week, as I was preparing my notes for this speech, my wife Nancy and I were watching an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond. It was the episode where Ray received an honorary degree, and during his acceptance speech, he went about thanking everybody except his wife. I will not make that mistake. So, Nancy, thank you for all the love and support over our 26 years together. I'm not sure you knew what you were signing up for when you married a New York City firefighter, but I know that without your strength, understanding, and support, I would not have passed all of those promotion exams and would not be standing here today. So thank you. Everybody should be so lucky to have the love and support of such a great partner. I would also like to wish Nancy a happy birthday. So good morning, Commissioner Kavanaugh, Chief Hodgens, Chiefs, Commissioners, Malcolm, Chuck, family, and friends. I am honored to be promoted today and grateful the Commissioner and Chief have placed their faith and trust in me to be the Chief of Fire Operations. I am looking forward to leading the 11,000 members of the Bureau of Fire Operations and eager to meet the challenges head-on. As we adapt to address lithium-ion batteries, mega high-rise buildings, the rising number of medical emergencies, alternate energy, and weather-related emergencies, we must also maintain our proficiency in our most essential task, the one that only we can do, and that is firefighting. We must accomplish this while also protecting the most important and valuable resource, our people. The life-saving work of our men and women that they do every day is inspiring. The people of New York City are proud to have such capable and motivated firefighters on their side. The success of our department depends on all of us working together. Babe Ruth is quoted as saying, "The way a team plays as a whole determines its success. You may have the greatest bunch of individual stars in the world, but if they don't play together, the club is not worth a dime." And I wholeheartedly believe that, and believe it applies not only to baseball and fireground operations, but to everything we do to protect the people of the city of New York. Whether it is as individuals or fire companies, we must cooperate to succeed. We know that we will not be successful on the fireground if we do not have good relationships with our fellow firefighters and companies. Likewise, our best chances to succeed requires collaboration with our brothers and sisters in EMS, every bureau in the department, and beyond the FDNY with our response agencies on the city, state, and federal level, protecting the city and saving lives as a team. I would like to thank a few people that guided me along the way. First, our boys, Jack, Danny, and Thomas, who have grown from great kids to be outstanding adults. They are the joy of my life. Thank you, boys. My parents, who demonstrated the importance of hard work, education, and lifelong learning. They set an example that was easy to follow. My mom is a nurse, and she is still the first call, my first call for medical advice all these years later, so thank you very much. Throughout my career, I have been fortunate to have worked with some great people that were willing to share their wisdom and experience with me. Although there are too many to name them all, I will name a few, and I'm sure I'm going to miss a couple, that had a huge impact on my career. The first is firefighter Paul Greco. Paul and I worked in 47 engine together, and he was a few years older than me. But like me, he had 3 boys, and I loved working with Paul. And everybody that knows Paul knows that he had was happy to share his philosophy on life and people. I learned a great deal about the fire department, about being a father and being a husband. Unfortunately, like too many of our members, Paul died way too young from World Trade Center illness. Another was Lieutenant Billy McGinn. He was one of my bosses when I was a firefighter at Squad 18, and Billy was the greatest. Learned an awful lot about the job, about being a boss, and how to treat and talk to other people. Unfortunately, Billy was one of the 343 members who died on 9/11. Still think about Billy and Paul and the example they set and what I've learned from them. Moving on, I am also thankful to the chiefs of the 3rd Division from whom I've learned so much about firefighting and leadership. Tom McCavanagh, Tony DeVita, Jimmy Hodgens, Dan Donahue, Nick Corrado, Joe Carlson, and Joe Ferrante. Thank you for all you've shared and all I've learned from you. For the last 5 years, I have been the Chief of Special Operations. I cannot adequately thank this group of highly trained, highly dedicated professionals who are always eager to do more. Their expertise and professionalism are awe-inspiring, and I am very grateful for all the incredible hard work that they have done for the people of the City of New York and around the country. The chief officers in Hazmat, Marine, and Rescue continually go above and beyond, increasing our capabilities and making our people better. I would like to specifically thank Nick Del Rey, Dan Murray, Frank Simpson, Joe Abamonte, Joe Cunningham, Jim Ginty, Joe Downey, and Malcolm Moore for all the great work that they have done to continue to move the department forward. These are incredibly talented people, and I am thankful for all I have learned from them and the support and advice they have provided me. And with Malcolm, SOC will be in great hands, so congratulations to you as well. And finally, probably the group that I've spent the most time with, my aides. I've had a few of them. They don't seem to stay around very long. Billy Carlson, Kevin Abamonte, Andrew Braun, Richie Myers, and Ronnie Broom. We spend an awful lot of time together in the car, and these guys have been at various times a sounding board, an advisor, a therapist, and a gatekeeper. And I can tell at times by their look that I have to reconsider or rethink my position. Their experience, judgment, and honesty are greatly appreciated, so thank you. Thank you to everybody for being here today. I am grateful for all the support and guidance I've gotten all along the way and will continue to need going forward. Thank you and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Chief Esposito, and congratulations. We will now administer the promotion to the rank of Deputy Assistant Chief. Will Deputy Chief Malcolm Moore please step forward, raise your right hand to repeat the oath with the Acting Fire Commissioner. Holding the Bible for Chief Moore is retired First Deputy Commissioner Robert Turner.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I should be able to see her. Yeah. Look, you want to spin around? We're going to get this right. I thought I was the only one that was nervous. Put your right hand.
I, Malcolm Moore,
I, Malcolm Moore,
having been promoted to the rank of Fire Deputy Assistant Chief
having been promoted to the rank of Fire Deputy Assistant Chief
in the Fire Department of the City of New York,
in the Fire Department of the City of New York,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of such rank
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of such rank
according to the laws, regulations, and orders
according to the laws, regulations, and orders
governing the department,
governing the department,
and will obey the orders and directions of my superiors
and will obey the orders and directions of my superiors
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, Deputy Assistant Chief Malcolm Moore, Chief of Special Operations. Well, Charles Downey, please step forward to raise your right hand and repeat the oath with the Acting Fire Commissioner. Holding the Bible for Chief Downey is his wife, Melissa Downey.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Charles Downey,
I, Charles Downey,
having been promoted to the rank of Fire Deputy Assistant Chief
having been promoted to the rank of Fire Deputy Assistant Chief
in the Fire Department of the City of New York,
in the Fire Department of the City of New York,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of such rank
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of such rank
according to the laws, regulations, and orders
according to the laws, regulations, and orders
governing the department,
governing the department,
and will obey the orders and directions of my superiors
and will obey the orders and directions of my superiors
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, Deputy Assistant Chief Charles Downey, Chief of the Fire Academy. How about another round of applause for all our new chiefs? Will everyone please remain standing while I invite FDNY Chaplain Mark Fallacione up for the benediction.
Detail uncover.
Father, as we conclude this ceremony of promotion for Chiefs Hodgens, Esposito, Moore, and Downey to their new ranks, we are filled with happiness for them, their families, and all the members of our department. You have prepared our brothers for this day and blessed them with special trust. You endowed them with mind, body, and spirit abilities more than equal to their mission. Through the years, you gave them in their service to this department leaders, mentors, and peers to help them along the way. You sustained them and protected them in their days of difficulty. Remembering that to whom much is given, much is required, we ask you to direct their steps and provide them with the strength to carry out their new responsibilities. Endow them with the spirit of wisdom and justice. We know our weak and fallible human nature all too well, and we recognize that the work which lies before us is demanding and at the same time complex. Yet, O God, we thank you for calling all department members to this challenge and rewarding work. Lead and sustain each of us along with our new chiefs in the way of peace. Unite us always in the spirit of service to one another. Nourish our vocation for the sake of your holy name. Amen.
Recover.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of this momentous event. This concludes the ceremony. Please enjoy the rest of your